With chapter 15 of Revelation, we come to one more cycle of 7 items, this time 7 plagues. This echoes the 7 letters to the 7 churches, the 7 seals securing the scroll in the hand of God, and the 7 angels blowing 7 trumpets. By now, we should be well familiar with the meaning of the number 7 and how it denotes wholeness or completeness. With this series of 7 plagues, John says the final judgment of God will be complete. But it is what he says at the very beginning of this chapter that intrigues me the most. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your Daily Devotional for Saturday, November 13th, 2021. 7 plagues. Once again, it sounds terrible, dreadful, frightening. But as I read this chapter, which introduces the plagues, pay attention to what John's attitude is at the beginning. Then I saw another portent in heaven, great and amazing, 7 angels with 7 plagues, which are the last, for with them the wrath of God is ended. And I saw what appeared to be a sea of glass mixed with fire, and those who had conquered the beast and its image and the number of its name, standing beside the sea of glass with harps of God in their hands. And they sing with the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, Great and amazing are your deeds, Lord God the Almighty. Just and true are your ways, King of the nations. Lord, who will not fear and glorify your name? For you are holy. All nations will come and worship before you, for your judgments have been revealed. After this I looked, and the temple of the tent of witness in heaven was opened. And out of the temple came the 7 angels with the 7 plagues, robed in pure bright linen, with golden sashes across their chests. Then one of the 4 living creatures gave the 7 angels 7 golden bowls full of the wrath of God, who lives forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no one could enter the temple until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were ended. Right off the bat, you should notice 2 things about this vision, both of which echo the exodus of Israel from its captivity in Egypt. The first is the series of plagues. Though we haven't yet seen what these plagues are, our minds should immediately connect these plagues with the 10 plagues in Egypt, which preceded Israel's final release from slavery. In the same way, our expectation should be that the plagues John is preparing to describe will precede the church's release from its own captivity under Rome. The second thing you should notice is the gathering of the faithful by the sea. It's easy to get sidetracked by the description of the sea as a sea of glass mixed with fire. What we should really see is the faithful standing by the sea and praising God, just as Israel stood beside the Red Sea with Moses after their release from slavery and the defeat of the Egyptian army by God in the Red Sea. All of which brings me to John's initial comments about the plagues. He says, I saw another portent in heaven, great and amazing. 7 angels with 7 plagues, which are the last. For with them the wrath of God is ended. Without John's declaration that this is great and amazing, we might be tempted to read about the coming plagues with a sense of foreboding, fear. Instead, we should see them as John sees them. The great and wonderful deeds of God who brings us out of our Egyptian, Babylonian, Roman captivity and sets us free at long last. After all, that is what Revelation is all about, a celebration of God's saving acts on our behalf. Whether it is Egypt, or Babylon, or Rome, or the power of sin, God has always saved his people, even when they have given up hope. When we return on Monday, the 7 angels pour out the 7 plagues. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.